we got off the show. I was 15, you were 17. And we took very different life paths after we broke up.
Oh. I'm going to be honest with you. That sent me down a road. That was just a catalyst to a road that was there in my life and was going to happen anyway. And that was like the first trauma outside of my parents that I reacted very poorly to.
Yeah.
Right. And like I reached out in directions for not good things, right? Like bad people, but those bad people, even at the time, she was like, they were so meant for me, you know? And the things that I learned from them, and the way that I healed and the way that I felt safe, like it's just an evolution of what I like deserved, you know? But I definitely fell into a pit after that happened. I fell away from grace, which I felt like, you know, that cast offered a lot of grace. Like we were all just on this high vibe, right? Yep. And I just completely was like, what's the other side like? Yeah,
I know. I watched it happen. I watched who you started hanging out with and where you went. But I think you wanted to. I also knew that.
That's gonna happen.
I was like, this is where she wants to
exactly,
go.
And that's what I mean. A catalyst for a road that was gonna get tripped at some point. Yeah. Like, you know, if you're gonna do drugs, you're gonna do drugs. If you're gonna XYZ, you're gonna XYZ. Like maybe something can come in the middle of that and like break that up, but your susceptibility to that can be catalyzed at any time by anything. Yeah. You know? Yeah. And so I think that happened. And then I went on this sort of like, I got really spiritual. I got off drugs, got back on drugs. Like, I mean, it just was like, I went wherever the wind blew. Yeah. And what I realized was that I wasn't able to heal from our thing because I'm pretty sure the BPD that I was just recently diagnosed with, which I don't truly believe in labels, but I do believe that this emotional recklessness, I don't choose it. Like not on this like
not on a conscious level. Yeah.
And I couldn't deal. Like the main trigger point of that is being abandoned or rejected, which even perceived, necessary, healthy, like all of it, I just didn't even know. So that went to a depth of pain that I like didn't even know was there. Yeah, you know, and that wasn't even all you under the surface. That was just
I mean, it cut so deep with me too. You were my first like love, dude. I loved you. Like Same. we were so close as friends before, and then went through like hormonal teenage. It was that first love when hormones are first a thing, and we already had a really pure friendship and saw each other all the time and had so much fun together, and we're fucking little maniacs together,
and we're creating together.
And creating magic and fun and all this shit, and then like falling in love as you do at that age. Like it was so meaningful and so powerful, and like you were my first in a lot of things, and like it. Even though I didn't spiral into 10 years of drugs.
Right. No, so it meant a lot to you. Where's your
mental competition?
No.
I loved you more.
No. Like
even,
it was.
Even though that didn't happen, it was significant. Like us not working out as we never could have, as no one can or should at that age anyway.
Right.
But it hurt so much. We went from every years together and then such intense love together to not being able to be around each other.
Oh my. Yeah. Remember when we had to go to the Harlem Globetrotters game? No,
this
you don't
after
remember.
We broke?
I was so just like,
up?
he's right there. Yeah. You were behind me. It was so awkward. We still had to like go to all these like random things that like, this got to
promote. Yeah. Oh. No, that sounds awful,
and
dude.
I just was just like, yeah. You were also this like it was just very like fairy tale to me, that first love thing, the way we worked together. Like it was this sweet fairy tale of Ned Moze together, you know what I mean?
I know. And it's the fucking...
Yeah, it was that,
It's Ned and Moze get together at the end of the season.
I know.
And Devon and Lindsey get together at the end of the season.
Cute.
Yeah.
But no.
And like love and carriage.
But cute, but then painful.
No. But then so painful.
So painful.
And yeah, so even though it manifested in different ways, like it was a deep wound. It took me a long time to like just let it go, heal from it.
My legs look ugly. I'm so sorry.
Wow, what a...
I'm so sorry.
I'm
so
sure
sorry. No,
nobody else notices. Also,
I know people notice.
also most...
Haters. I'm sorry. I want to know. You're
also
pouring your heart
most
out.
people are listeners, not watchers. Actually, I don't know that that's true.
I am trying to fulfill my potential on this podcast.
Cover your ankles.
Okay. I am a Puritan at heart. Okay, so sorry.
But yeah, it took a long time, I think, as any first intense love does. Like, it took a long time for me to like figure out what went wrong, what I want to be as a boyfriend, what love is. Like, it definitely fucked with me for a really, really long time.
Yeah.
And then we stayed in each other's...
I really love the way we stayed in each other's lives.
Yeah.
Because... Yeah, going through a lot. But I just remember literally every so often, I remember these phone calls with you that were just like, I would check in with you and be like, but it would just be for like one phone call and you just hold space and be like, I know.
Yeah.
I know. No, I see that.
Yeah.
Yep. And that happened several times.
Yeah.
And I just remember always thinking that I could reach out to you in that way.
Yeah.
You know, it was not often, but
Yeah.
it was like definitely during times of real distress.
Yep. No, over the years, I loved that too, is like I still kind of knew where you were-ish and what was going on, and I was worried about it, but knew there was there's no intervention.
Nope.
Like, Lindsey's just got to play out what she's got to play out. And I always got you when you would tell me what was going on. Like, I always like, it wasn't just me like fake holding space.
No,
I always I'm like, I know you and I love you.
And that's why
like,
I
got
remember.
you.
That's why I remember the conversations, because like I truly felt like I was talking to somebody who really knew who I was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And who was holding, you know, who still saw me as that, even if I couldn't see myself as that. Like that's always what I felt on those calls. That's why I kept calling you.
Yep.
You know.
Yep. And it's been amazing getting to like really reconnect now as adults and have our Ned's podcast that's like really giving us something to create together and time together. And from my understanding and how I'm witnessing you is like you're doing fucking amazing right now. You seem like real fucking good.
You know what, man?
Makes me happy.
I am good. I am good. I'm letting go of that narrative that I had for so long.
Yeah.
And I'm good. Like I am still working through wounds and I still have these character defects that I fall into, and they call it being like a dry drunk, because, you know, you're still acting out those behaviors that would have happened had you been using, you know, and it's really interesting to sit in those character defects. It's really lovely to know that they're just an imbalance of character gifts. You know?
Yeah.
And those gifts, when you give too much or you give too, like those gifts are meant to be kept in balance.
Yeah.
And it's really hard.
Yeah.
But the greatest thing that I've learned is that forgiveness is about not re-victimizing yourself in the retelling, right? Not adding the shame. Maybe there's shame there to uncover.
Yeah.
But sitting there every time and being like rotten, that's self-indulgent.
Yeah.
Right? That's really self-indulgent, and it allows you to create more layers of isolation around yourself. And so the ability to just look at it and take responsibility for my side of the street and not hate myself for making that mess is life-changing.
Yeah.
It's painful. Emotions are more available, but it's great.
What role did and like how did that go about getting your BPD diagnosis?
Yeah, so I call it on my inventory shit show weekend 1, shit show weekend 2. That was my last relapse, August 31st, 2021, and by the grace of God, day by day, we march on. And right, I got to get my AA plug in there.
Do it.
No, but for real, like, I mean, sanity is earned every day. You know, like for me at least. And so after falling down that pitfall, I was like, this is not just a love of alcohol. And like, this is like, you need help, or you need to check yourself in for a longer time in rehab, and you need to be an inpatient, because you can't take care of yourself and you don't know how to do that. Yeah. And so I went to a psychiatrist, and she like went over a checklist of things. I had already kind of thought that I might be a candidate for these things, and I had read about it, and she was like, definitely BPD. I got on some medicine. I got deep in program, and I haven't had another thought about it truly. And you know, not even like those cravings people say, like I was ready to put it down. I just couldn't. And it's because those emotional reactions that trigger, like I couldn't make any space between them.
Yeah.
It would literally be like, alcohol, alcohol. Like, and even when I knew I would feel guilty about hitting my dealer again. And then it would switch into autopilot and I would be just, these are the actions that you go forward now. This is what's been set into motion and this is what you go do.
Yep.
And, yeah, I literally cannot believe that I feel this way.